Physical media. There's lots of styles of packaging that they come in. If you're new to the hobby, it might be a bit of a minefield. What are all of these different types? So in the video today, I'm going to go through some of the different types of physical media that we can get. And just give you a little bit of info if it's kind of new to you, and yeah, just an information video for you to enjoy. Let's get into it. So welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name's Matt, and this channel is all about movies, TV, showing different editions, all this sort of stuff that you're seeing behind me, and a whole lot more. So yeah, different editions for physical media, mainly on Blu-ray and 4K now, but we did have DVD and VHS. So what types of packaging are there? Well, let's get into it. Let's show you the first one, which is pretty much the standard, and it's your Blu-ray Amaray case, which would kind of be like this, just a blue case with the Blu-ray logo at the top, the sleeve with the front artwork and the back artwork like this. You'd open it up, and then on the inside you would get the disc, and sometimes you get reversible artwork like this one. It's showing two different posters, so you've got that one there and that one there, and you generally see that on a company like Arrow, who often do that, but some of the boutique labels, this being 88 Films, they also do it. But generally on your standard releases, you would just get probably no inside artwork there or reversible sleeve, and you obviously you get the disc in there as well, which would be the standard Blu-ray. Now you'd also get sometimes a slip cover or a sleeve that the Blu-ray or 4K would come in. Now, for an example, this is the 88 Films double sleeve edition, quite a thick cardboard, but often the slip covers are quite thin. You know, they're quite cheap quality, but these ones are made for boutiques, so they're slightly more sort of premium feel to them. But often, yeah, you just put the slip cover over there, and sometimes you can get lenticulars, which I'll come on to in a minute. We'll have a look at some lenticulars, but sometimes you can get that. Sometimes you can get holographic sort of slip covers as well. There's a whole range of different types. So that's kind of the Blu-ray version in the slip and the non-slip version. So next up would be the standard 4K. So you would generally get it in the black case with the 4K Ultra logo at the top. Again, the sleeve shows you the artwork on the front and the tech specs and about the film on the back. Open it up and you generally have one or two discs, either a 4K disc and the Blu-ray, or sometimes you get both. Sometimes you get a third disc like this one with special features. Now, you also sometimes get special editions which contain the Amaray case, and in this case you would get like a slip box. So this is what's called an HMV Cine edition. So in the UK we have the HMV stores, and they do have a range of sort of collectibles called Cine edition. Generally what that is you get like a booklet as well with it, sometimes art cards, all about the film. And what also you would get is a slip box. Now this is quite a thin cardboard, but sometimes they're quite rigid solid boxes, so it all depends on the release at the time. But yeah, it houses the booklet, and the Amaray case in a nice sort of protective case. Okay, so let's move on to a boutique label, which they do something a little bit different. So this is the Indicator Sinbad collection. So this is a sort of a limited edition with a quarter slip. So we take that off there. So it's called a quarter slip, or I guess even like a third slip, because it doesn't sort of cover the entire thing. It's only covering a quarter or a third, this kind of thing. And then with this release, we get like a nice hard outer box with the spine on the back, contents, and then on the inside again you would get the plastic cases, often called Amaray cases, but there are different makes. This one comes with a booklet, and you would again you get the discs with the artwork like so. These ones again have got reversible covers, but sometimes they will just have like a plain inside. So again, a slightly another type of variant. Again, generally would be a limited edition, but it's sort of a variant on the sort of standard editions that you would get. These would typically be available to buy individually, but in the case of this edition, it all comes with one in a really nice box set. Okay, so moving on, we get this is a premium edition. So this is a double lenticular. So you can see you've got your lenticular on the front there, and then you've also got the lenticular on the back as well. Then typically inside of here you get like a steelbook and sort of inside pamphlet, etc. So if we just get that out, so here's your steelbook. Now again, you also get standard steelbooks with releases. Generally, with a standard steelbook, you probably wouldn't get this sort of treatment, sort of debossing and embossing. So what debossing means is that the title is kind of sunk in, whereas embossed, the title will sort of stick out, so it's raised. Now on this particular release, it's neither, but it's a very glossy steelbook. So you also get glossy steelbooks and you get matte steelbooks. I would say glossy steelbooks tend to be a little bit more slightly better on protection, maybe not quite as many scratches as a matte steelbook, but generally these sort of glossy editions are more reserved for the premium editions. So here's a different example for a premium edition. So this is a single lenticular, but this not actually being a box, it is a slip cover which goes over the steelbook, and there's a booklet in there as well. And generally on the back of these you would have like a little card which tells you the limited number, this sort of a thing. So here's your steelbook. So again, this is a sort of glossy steelbook with what we call a debossed border. So you can see around the edges there, the inside is kind of shrunk in. That's debossing. On the title here, you can probably make out that that title is raised slightly, and that's embossing. So again, different sort of treatment for different types of steelbooks. Generally on the back, you would generally just get an image like that. However, there are some steelbooks where again, you would get a debossed border and either embossing or debossing on the sort of title or text on the back of the steelbook. So here's an interesting addition. This one is a lenticular, but it's only subtle. And if you can see, if I move this like this, you see the trucks coming out of the wing mirror. but there's no other movement on it. So again, this is a slightly different kind of lenticular, whereas only some part of the image has actually been used as a lenticular. The back is just an image, a glossy image. But yeah, it's again interesting that's a different type of lenticular. So next up is what we call a full slip premium edition. So again, this one is for War of the Planet of the Apes. There's no lenticular on the front of this, but you do have some nice spot glossing. So it's on the title there, you can see that. But the image is slightly textured. You've got the spine as well, which again has got the sort of spot glossing on it. But you turn it to the back, and again you just get an image which again is textured, but there's not lenticulars on either side of this, so it's what we call a full slip edition. Here's another type of edition which you don't see that much, and it's a book edition. So this is for the film Alien, and again this is a Spanish edition, I think. Again, a larger sort of version to what we're generally used to with Blu-rays and 4Ks, but again you've got images from the film, and then generally they're housed at the start of it. There isn't anything at the start of this one, but if we go to the back, you can see there's a disc in there, which again would be the film on Blu-ray. So again, another sort of different type of release, what we call a book release. Don't tend to get these in the UK, but you do find them sort of on the sort of European market. And say this is a Spanish release. So next up is like a sort of a book edition, I guess. This one being Star Trek The Motion Picture. I do believe there was this was an Amazon exclusive, and again sort of showing you the back. It kind of shows you've got all the bump in there, stickers and postcards, sorry, and generally it'll be like a sort of hard book, sort of exterior, and you open it up and there'll be like a gatefold, or there'll be various pages to this as well. So it all opens up like this, and you've got the discs inside of there, and then you also get all the sort of supplementary information. Like I say, I'll sort of zoom in there so it's easier to sort of show that as to what it looks like. But again, a different sort of type of packaging to your sort of standard or premium editions. So next up, this is a sort of, again, a sort of quirky sort of variation. HMV did do a range of these, but this is a French edition for the film Twister. But it's actually got the Blu-ray and the DVD inside. But what it is kind of a mock-up for a VHS tape. Obviously this isn't a VHS, but it does contain inside all the information, booklets and the discs. HMV did do a sort of range of films, not that many, but again, similar sort of packaging to this. It made it look like a VHS, but it contained the Blu-rays. Next up, switching over to a TV series. So this is the Star Trek, the original series. And again, this comes in a sort of hard box, outer box. So if we lift the lid off, inside you've got digipacks. Now again, digipacks are a different type of media, but largely what they are is they're sort of fold out packaging like this. This contains all the discs, this being for the season 3, but we've also got season 2 and season 1. I think I've got those wrong. That's 2, that's 1. So yeah, again, another type of packaging that you may find probably on TV series, either Blu-ray or DVD. Next up, another type of steelbook which we're starting to see a little bit more, generally more in America, but we do get the occasional one here, and this one is for ballerina. So it's got acetate sort of slip case over the top of the steelbook. It kind of complements the artwork. So rather than having all of this information on the back of a J card, which you generally get on the back of a steelbook, it's popped onto here, but it also makes up part of the artwork. So on here you've got fire down below, and you've got the ballerinas. So it's very, very clever. It keeps a little bit of added protection to the steelbook, but again, it's just a different variant on the steelbook types of releases. You also get steelbook box sets. Now, I don't actually have any of these, but quite a few have been done, including the Superman box set, the Godzilla box set, Matrix Collection box set. Yeah, they're kind of like a sort of steel tin that houses the steelbooks inside, usually with sort of foam inserts. And again, this is another sort of collectible packaging that's been introduced, but I don't actually have any of these in my collection. Moving on, another type of packaging called, this is Diamond Lux, or the Magna case. So again, it comes with a J card with all your sort of extras and information on, and then this is like a sort of hard plastic fold out case. Opens up, but there's a magnet sort of that holds the two edges together. You open it up like this, and then you open it up again. It's in the style of a digibook, I guess, a digipack, sorry, not a digibook. Yeah, that's same sort of idea, but this being sort of hard plastic and with a magnet just to sort of secure it in. So again, a different type of packaging. Here's another unusual edition, which I've only ever seen it in this, but it's the sort of case for the John Wick editions, the first 3 films. So this book was in the 3rd film, and again, what they've done is they've made it into sort of like a book with some pages, and then behind that you then got the 4K versions of the films. Now, I've only got the box for this. The original release, I believe, was either a Best Buy or a Walmart edition. I can't quite remember. That would have contained exclusive steelbooks that went with this release. I mean, I didn't get those steelbooks with this, but I had the standard Amarais of all 3 films. There's a couple of art cards that came with this release as well. So yeah, it was again a different sort of packaging to what I've seen before. Continuing on, back to another boutique label called Vinegar Syndrome. Again, this is a US based company, and we're looking at this edition of Congo. I believe this is their sort of premium range that they do, and again, it's a very nice sort of hard box edition. Magnet on the side. I think it's on the side, or is it this side? One side, yeah, on that side. Opens up, and then you've got some artwork in there, and then you've also got like a drawstring that you pull out, reveals the artwork inside. So it's a really sturdy box, this. It does come with a booklet as well, and it comes with a really sort of unique slip cover, which again I think is double-sided, so it's a really thick cover, again with the back artwork. I think Vinegar Syndrome do a lot of these sort of slip covers with their releases, a bit like the sort of 88 films, boutique, Arrow, this kind of thing. They do their own sort of versions, and then you've generally got the Amarais case underneath. They don't tend to do steelbooks, Vinegar Syndrome, not that I know of. I might be wrong on that, but you tend to get the discs with unique artwork on as well. One thing I would say about Vinegar Syndrome, if you're importing them for the UK, the Blu-rays are region A locked, so you would need a region 3 player. But as we know, 4K is region free, so you're good to go there. So again, if you're new to collecting, just bear these things in mind. Staying with Vinegar Syndrome, this is a different type of release. So this is for the film Sliver. So this is a slip box. Again, I guess similar to what I showed earlier with HMV, but this time this is sort of strong cardboard. Sort of has a the sleeve where you put the edition inside. Again, comes with a booklet, and then again with this one, Vinegar Syndrome do their own slip cover, which then goes over the 4K standard case. So once again, a region A Blu-ray in there, but the 4K is region free. Moving on again, we have Film Vault. So again, these are a UK based company, and they do steelbooks now. Their sort of new releases are the bigger boxes like this, but contain a steelbook with inside, and they also released the steelbook on its own. This being a slightly earlier release from Film Vault. Again, you get like a sort of sleeve which has part of the artwork on. It also shows you the back there, so you've got your inside stuff there, and you can see up here there's a little small digipack which opens up to house the discs. But again, with this you get art cards, lobby cards, and this little sort of it's almost like a paperweight, I guess. Just quickly open this up. So got some nice artwork on the front there, nice artwork on the back. Again, magnetized, a bit like that Vinegar Syndrome edition. You've got the inside artwork there, and then you've got like a pamphlet with a spot gloss coffee stain. Then on the inside you've got that sort of paperweight, has got a number on it. This one is 2097 out of 3500. But then you've also got the digipack inside there, which houses the discs. So again, I think they've done away with that paperweight, but yeah, they've gone with a steelbook instead. But still, again, sort of different type of packaging. Going back to steelbooks, another type of variation of steelbook, this time with a lenticular magnet on the front. So this has a deboss border, and then sort of fitted inside of that is the magnet. Again, a slightly different variation on a steelbook. Another type of packaging, which I think this was a one-off to be honest, but this is from Zavvi, and it is for the film Rise of Skywalker. This is a steel sort of tin, quite thick sort of metal, unlike the steel books, which are quite thin. You can see this is heavily debossed, so you can see it's sort of sunken in. And then on the other side, you've actually got embossing on this side. Really detailed set, this. Really nice. But yeah, it lifts off like this. So there's your tin inside there. You know, sort of, it's really solid, this. And then you've got like debossing on the Star Wars and the Rise of Skywalker. You get some nice pins with this. Really well detailed pins. You get some art cards, and then in the back there you get the steel book, which I'm not going to get that out, but let me just show you this, which is the J card. Shows you it in a bit more detail as to what you get inside. So again, quite unique art design on this one. I don't think this has ever been replicated on any other release. Okay, so sort of for the final part of this, I'm not going to actually sort of show the editions in detail because it would mean getting a lot of stuff off the shelves, etc. But just quickly want to talk about this set down here, which is a Tron Cube. There will be a video that have gone up in the last few weeks, Tron Collection, which shows this in a bit more detail. But inside there you get steelbooks. Again, very unique. Only so many thousand of those were done. Unlikely to be repeated. But again, a different type of packaging. Over here we've got the Transformers set. That contains the first 3 films in the Transformers series. It all unfolds. Again, if you go to my Transformers playlist, you probably can see a video on that. That does contain within it a signature from the director Michael Bay, who hand signed thousands of these. Again, it's very unique. All sort of unfolds, and then you've got the disc subs within inside the sort of pyramid sort of structure, I guess. Moving up to this is the Star Wars Skywalker Saga. As you can see probably from the picture there, it's like a book edition that opens up, and then you've got the discs at the very top that you can slide out. Again, there have been variations of this sort of book design. There is a Dark Knight trilogy set that was done, which I do have, like the white box edition. Similar sort of thing. The book would open up and you've got different artwork for each film. They did it with the Bond 50 as well. They've done that a few times with different editions. So obviously it was quite a popular kind of release, so they've sort of duplicated it on other releases. Then moving to the top, you've got the Back to the Future 35th anniversary edition. Again, that's kind of a variation on what I've shown earlier, which is those sort of VHS editions. Contained within that is a VHS mock-up, but within inside you've got all the bumps, all the stickers and postcards and all this sort of a thing. And then underneath, the steelbooks, which make up the DeLorean over the 3 time periods, over the 3 films, are housed in the bottom of that. And it's like the timestamp from the DeLorean on the outside. More recently, I picked up this edition of the flux capacitor. Again, that lights up. Let's just press that. There we go. So you got the flux capacitor there. That's a lenticular made to look like the flux capacitor. And then contained within there is the films on Blu-ray, but there's also the animated series and a really nice sort of booklet as well. Jumbo cases, that's another type of packaging you get. This one, Lord of the Rings, the 4K trilogy, does come in a nice slip box, quite thin cardboard, but these are the jumbo 4K standard sort of cases. I don't particularly like these, if I'm honest. They do contain sort of multiple discs like this. I mean, I guess there's, you know, obviously about, well, 6 discs in here. So, you know, just a standard size wouldn't fit. But yeah, not the biggest fan of these. But I do have the Hobbit as well in this. But yeah, but again, different type of packaging once again. And then finally, and I'm going to put it on screen here, is my crown jewel of the collection, and that is the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings bookcase edition. There is a video on my channel sort of showing this in a bit more detail, so again, might try and put a link at that maybe at the end of the video. But this is an amazing edition, leather bound sort of books, highly detailed. Sort of within them you've got sort of pictures. It's a sort of digibook design, I guess, but without any writing apart from sort of artwork design. The discs are housed within those internal books, and then it's housed within a wonderful bookcase. And then there's also at the bottom a really nice sort of booklet, sort of in leather, that you can go in and look at all the art cards and all that sort of a thing. Absolutely fantastic edition. This was an Amazon exclusive. I didn't get it on launch, but I was able to pick up a import copy from Amazon for a very reasonable price at the time of getting it. It's incredibly sought after, this edition, and yeah, it's the crown jewel in my collection. Again, I can't ever see another edition being presented like that. Probably very expensive to produce, and done with limited numbers. So guys, that's look at the different types of packaging that you get on Blu-ray and 4K releases. I've tried to cover as many as I could. I probably could have gone into DVD as well, but yeah, there's just so many different variations. But I hope this has given you a flavour of sort of the different types of editions that are out there. And certainly if you're new to collecting and you don't know much about the sort of different types of packaging, hopefully this video has been of help to you. And like I say, if you're new here, why not go and check out some of these other videos on the channel. You know, it'll help you sort of with buying decisions and this sort of a thing. I guess a lot of this stuff can be found on eBay now, but it's all dependent on prices and how much you're prepared to pay for these things. Please give the video a thumbs up, and like I say, if you're new here, why not consider subscribing to the channel. It's totally free to do so. There's no charge for doing it, and yeah, you can come back and enjoy future content for you movie lovers. See you next time.